Here's how I changed the steering gearbox in my square body Suburban. Gearboxes are complex enough and require such precision that I prefer to use professionally rebuilt units instead of rebuilding them myself. I started by removing the pitman arm nuts, followed by the rag joint nuts and 2 power steering lines. Take care with the hoses and replace them if they tear or feel too stiff and old. Use a ball joint separator or pitman arm wedge to separate the arm from the steering linkage. Remove the 4 bolts holding the gearbox to the frame and wiggle the gearbox out from under the truck. Cap the openings to prevent leakage when returning the gearbox core. Remove the rag joint bolt and rag joint from the gearbox. Use a 2-jaw puller to remove the pitman arm from the gearbox. Oil the puller's threads for longevity. Removal with hand tools is preferred. If you have to use power or air tools on the puller, be sure to do it only small bits at a time to prevent damage. I chose a Redhead replacement gearbox because I wanted to do this job once and never again. Redhead rebuilds gearboxes better than new condition. They measure the bearings with high precision specific for the variance of each and every gearbox, which provides the most robust and longest lasting units and tightest steering compared to other reman and even new OEM gearboxes. This is especially important for lifted trucks. Now, I did a lot of research, picked Redhead, and purchased this with my own money, but I did talk them into giving me a coupon code for you guys. It's in the description below. It's important to note, after replacing a worn-out gearbox with a high-precision Redhead unit, you will likely need to replace your power steering pump as well. The symptom I had was loss of power steering and slow turns. It felt like the pump just gave up in the middle of a turn. This is because the lack of slop in the Redhead gearboxes put more pressure on your old worn-out pump, causing it to show signs of failure. Whereas your old gearbox put less pressure on the old pump due to internal slop letting fluid leak past the bearings and out of the gearbox. Check out my power steering pump replacement video for help. If you don't see the replacement O-rings, look inside the invoice envelope. I had already installed using my own O-rings when I found the ones it came with. With new O-rings in place and the hose fitting and rag joint installed on the gearbox, after you like and subscribe, it's time to install back into the truck. Tighten the pitman arm nuts to reseat the ball joint to the steering linkage and the pitman arm to the gearbox sector shaft. Look up the torque specs to ensure correct torque on all components during install. After bolting in the gearbox, installing the hoses, and reconnecting the rag joint, it's time to fill and bleed the power steering fluid. Do this with the engine off, jack your truck up till your front wheels leave the ground, fill the reservoir full, and turn the wheels back and forth a few times. Check the reservoir again and fill if needed. Then turn the wheels left and right completely at least 20 times to remove all air bubbles from the power steering system. Make sure it's full again, double check the torque on all bolts, then you're ready to drive. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions at all. Thank you all so much for watching. See you on the next one.